Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point Shorts, and we are here to talk about a case in Tampa, Florida, where a African American police officer has been fired from the Tampa Police Department after using the N-word when dealing with students and talking on his phone. I guess his body cam was recording the conversation, but he was talking to his wife and he used the N-word again. So take a listen.
You going to jail now? Some ghetto.
We're not excusing it in any way, and neither is he. We just want to make sure that he gets the punishment that matches what actually happened.
We don't condone this word. It keeps reinventing itself in our music, in our everyday conversation as a casual hello. But the NAACP feels as though, no one should be using that word. That word has a negative tone to it, no matter who uses it.
So an officer was fired from the Tampa Police Department after a body camera captured him using a racial slur, according to a department spokesman. Delvin White was terminated this week for violations of policy that prohibit discriminatory conduct, Police Information Officer Eddie Durkin said of the Tampa Police Department. So according to a news release from the department, body camera video captured White using the N-word and referencing a group of people as ghetto while on a phone call. Police said the incident happened on November 13th of last year. While he was under investigation for the November 13th incident, authorities said White told his supervisor that there was another incident that happened on November 30th where he used the N-word while making an arrest. According to Durkin, White was caught on body camera using the derogatory language twice while making a trespassing arrest. So derogatory statements made by police officers jeopardize the trust that our department works to establish with our community, Police Chief Brian Dugan said in a statement. Tampa police officers are held to a higher standard, and incidents like this negatively impact the entire law enforcement profession. A representative with the Tampa Police Benevolent Association released a statement following White's termination, and it says, "We stand with the city of Tampa and the Tampa Police Department in their efforts to stamp out racism in every form and condemn any and all derogatory statements in or out of uniform. The facts in the Delvin White matter do not reflect an act of any intent that warrants the punishment he received for his alleged transgression. Officer White is a beloved and trusted member of the East Tampa community that he was raised in and that he protected every day. Despite this misstep, throughout the investigation, private citizens and other individuals associated with his school contacted the chief of police, lending their support and reflecting their admiration for his character and contributions. The PBA will file a formal grievance on Officer White's behalf with the hope and expectation of getting this valued officer back to work. White is an 8-year veteran of the police department and was most recently assigned as a school resource officer at Middleton High School." So this was quite interesting to me because I was watching a video or watching a live stream the other day on Ty Said What Ty Said, and they were discussing the use of the N-word. And so my belief is this: nobody should be using the N-word, period. I don't care if you're using it with an ER or you're using it with an A. And I believe that Black people are the only people that will take something that was derogatory, mean-spirited, meant to harm us, to cause us harm, and try to turn it into a positive and say that it's okay and that black people should be able to use the word, that the word belongs to us, we own the word. Like, that is just so ridiculous to me. And this is a prime example, because now this man, who obviously used the word in everyday language, like he thinks that it's okay, it's part of his vernacular. He uses the word, and now he's using it not only on his job, but he's using it when dealing with young African American students that, he is charged to oversee and to help maintain peace on the school campuses. And he is freely using the word. He's using the word while communicating, knowing that he's being recorded. So obviously the N-word is something that he is very comfortable using. And then it wasn't that he used it as though to say, one of the kids walked up and he says, "Hey, my N-word," with the A at the end, because they have some kind of, communication going on between them. There's some comfort level between them. No, he's in the process of arresting black kids, and he's using the N-word and using terms like calling them ghetto and all of that. And so to me, that is unacceptable. Now, should he have gotten fired from his job? Yeah, because you would have fired a white person if they had used it, right? And then, I don't know, like in another article I read, they said that the PBA, which is the police union here, they were hoping that he would be suspended without pay for a month, or from 30 to 60 days, not be terminated. But I just think it's a slippery slope, because if he gets reinstated and receives a suspension, what happens when a non-black police officer use that same terminology against a black kid or a black person that they are, in a traffic stop or whatever? Is the black community going to be okay with that officer, receiving a slap on the wrist, receiving a suspension, maybe the 30 to 60 day suspension plus some type of training, racial sensitivity, racial diversity training is in order. 8 years on the job, I'm sure he's used it more than once, and people are just sitting back waiting to see how this plays out. And then he gets reinstated, and then all of a sudden you have all these complaints coming forth saying that, oh, he used that word, and we find out he's used the word 50 times instead of 2 times. And so, really interesting situation. I would love to know what you all think about this. Like, what's your perspective? Is it ever appropriate to use the N-word, especially on your job, especially when you're in a capacity to influence young African American students? Like, is this the example? Like, shouldn't he be trying to tell them not to use the word, whether you're using it with an ER or with an A? And actually, in the articles I've read, we don't even get the distinction of how he used the word. What form of the word did he use? Was it the racial slur, or was it the quote unquote term of endearment that he used it in? Obviously, as he was throwing this young man to the ground in handcuffs and he used the N-word, I don't think he was referring to him as a term of endearment. I think he was upset with this young man, who was struggling to be handcuffed. And he used the word, the ER word, as in you're being ignorant, you're being dumb, you're being stupid. And so we've got to get it together, folks. Okay. Like, we can't be picking and choosing and saying, in one way this is an okay word and another way it's not an okay word. Oh, black people can use the word, but white people can't use the word. Like, the word should be banned, period, in my opinion. But that's just my humble opinion, okay? And then we have community leaders that are getting involved, the NAACP getting involved. And I'm going to watch this story because I just want to see how it play out, how you have people in leadership positions and the NAACP coming forward to support this police officer, in saying this term. And I'm just wondering, how is it going to play out? How is the community is the community going to get behind him and say, it's our word, we can use the word, he was a black person using it towards another black person, so it doesn't count. It's just really going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Let me know what you think. Go ahead, leave your comments below, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And until the next time, I shall talk to you guys later. Bye bye.